guys, and welcome back to Matthew's Travels and Tips, and in today's video we're talking about how to get your child passport done fast and easy. So when obtaining for a child passport, there is a passport checklist that I've put together that tells you everything that you need. That is the government application form, the DS11. You need passport photos of the child's birth certificate, and the government fee, which is a fee of either $80 or $140 to the US Department of State. Just to touch real quickly on the fees, $80 is if you're willing to wait up to 12 to 18 weeks, that is their time frame right now. $140 is if you want to get it done in 6 weeks. So what I'm going to do next is, this is a step-by-step video. I want to try and go in depth so that you have all the information. So what we're doing here is, I'm going to go show you now how to complete the DS11 application. Then I'm going to touch on passport photos, what is acceptable, what isn't acceptable. In regards to the birth certificate, once you have an original or certified copy provided by your courthouse for the birth certificate, that's what you need to include, original only. And then you have your government fee. After I show you how to complete the government application form, then I'm going to tell you about the acceptance agent, how to find an agent, what they're going to do. And after that, the agent will ship everything to the passport agency. Quick, simple. At that point, you simply just wait for the passport to arrive in the mail. Okay, so I'm just going to go over really quickly on the steps for completing the DS11 application for a child. It is almost exactly the same as an adult passport, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do it again. So the first thing you want to do is go to travel.state.gov and click get a US passport. Then you scroll down to children under age 16 and fill out form DS11. You click form filler. I will include a direct link to this page so you don't have to go through all that. It's pptform.state.gov. That will be included in the links below. But once you've done that, you check off the box, you hit submit, and then we're going to hit complete, fill out online, and print. So I should be clear, a child passport is anyone under the age of 16, so from the time of birth to the age of 16 is considered a child passport. So let's go ahead and start filling this out. So this is all fake information just for the purpose of this video. So let's go and call the child John Doe. Very common. And let's say the child was born on the 8th of August 2019. Definitely considered a child, only a couple of years old. So the city of birth is Miami. And let's say social security number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Social security number is 9 digits long, and for your purposes you want to make sure the information is the information for your child. He's a child, so he's only about, let's say, 3 feet tall, so he has blonde hair and blue eyes. And for occupation, you're just going to put child, or if he's in school you can put student, or you can put none, doesn't really matter. When you hit next, you're going to put street address. So let's try and fill it out really quickly. So at this point they want to know if this is your permanent address. So in some cases people have their mail shipped to places that they don't live. If that's the case, you hit no, and then they'll give you a section where you can enter your mailing address. If it is, just please hit yes, and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to click yes. Now, preferred methods of communication, I usually select both. That way, you can get an email and a hard copy of any correspondence you're going to get from the agency. So let's call this John Dad. Gmail, since most likely the parent is going to fill this information out for the child. And phone number 565444767. Just random information. None of this it goes into any database where they're going to verify if the information is correct. But you want to make sure the information is correct so that if they do need to contact you, you don't get any delays. Travel plans. If you don't have any, leave this blank. If you do enter the information, that way the agency is at least aware of that you do have a deadline for getting these passports, and so that you don't miss your trip. Emergency contact is I think everyone understands what an emergency contact is in case anything happens. In case the passport gets the child gets lost with the passport, hopefully not. The US Embassy and Department of State can locate the emergency contact and come up with a solution. Let's just say father. Alright, so this is a case of somebody who's never been issued a passport before in their entire life. It's the first time getting a child passport. So they ask, have you been issued any of the following? We're gonna hit none, because the child has never had a passport before. He's never had a book or a card. And this is the information that you're gonna put father's information, mother's information. So let's see, it's once again, this information asks for the name, the date of birth, place of birth, their sex, and whether or not they're US citizens. So yeah, it is common for some children to be citizens of the United States and their parents are immigrants, and they may not be considered US citizens yet. So this information, you want to make sure this information is accurate, and after that you move on. So has the applicant ever been married? Hopefully not, it's a child. So we're gonna hit no. And then when you hit next, this is if for whatever reason in the 2 years of the child's life or 16 years, whatever the case may be, if they've ever went by a different name, their name has changed, maybe there was an error on their original birth certificate and it was amended, this is where this information will go. It's very rare that you'll have something to put here, but this doesn't go for like nicknames or a pet name that family may call the child. That doesn't go there. Only stuff that has been recorded or has been in any official documents. If that isn't the case, you hit next, and now you just review the information in order to make sure that everything is correct. Then you hit next, and you select what you're applying for. So you're applying for a passport book. We're going to select expedited service because right now it's quite a long time frame for getting the passport, about 18 weeks for standard, so we want to try and get it done in 6 weeks. So we're paying the additional $60. So it's $60 standard delivery, or you can do 1 to 2 day delivery. I really don't think it matters right now because it's still taking 6 weeks with expedited, so why pay that additional fee? And this fee here comes up to $175. Now I did say in the checklist that the fee is $140, but it's come to $175 because they're adding the total cost of obtaining the passport, which includes the $35 fee that you pay at the acceptance agent. So once you select everything, hit next, and you're done. The next thing you do is you scroll down, check off this box, and hit print form. And now we have a completed government application form for a child. So this is a DS11 application. See, it says DS11 here. And that's how you complete the most difficult part of this application. Okay, and this is an example of when it comes to taking a child's passport photo. Now it can be a little difficult. especially if it's a baby, because you need to have a white background. You need to make sure that the child's eyes are open, that they're centered in the photo. So this here is given by the US Department of State on what they think is acceptable and what they don't think is acceptable. So this right here, this is an acceptable passport photo. They think this one is unacceptable. Only reason is because it's underexposed, meaning you can see a little bit of shadow right here by her eyes, on the side of her head. This photo here, even though it looks like the child just finished throwing a tantrum and crying, is perfectly centered. His eyes are open, there is no glare, very little shadow. It's acceptable. This one here, the only reason it's unacceptable is because the child isn't facing forward and it's not a full image of his face. This one here, completely acceptable. Probably centered, full image of the child's face, no shadows, no over or underexposure. I am seeing a trend, however. All the acceptable photos, these children look either angry, sad, or like they just finished crying. This one here is because the child's severe tired. It's an exaggerated facial expression, considered to be unacceptable. Here we go once again with a acceptable passport photo. The child, it is a white background. No, it's not a full like a flat white background. Like you can clearly see that he's probably in front of like a white blanket or white pillow. But in these circumstances, they will make this. They will accept photos based on the discretion of the child's age. So they'll consider this acceptable. Child is facing the camera. His eyes are open. He's centered. Once again, acceptable. Although the child is looking a little bit sad. So who knows what's going on there. Child is covering her face, so it's considered an obstruction, unacceptable. This one here, photo is very blurry. And even if it wasn't blurry, based on the background, it's not a full clear white background, I think it would have been acceptable, even if it was a clear image. This one here, the child has a pacifier in his or her mouth. If the pacifier wasn't there, it would have been acceptable. Even though if the child's face wasn't fully centered, I still do think that they would have accepted this. And this one here is very clear. Not a white background, the child, someone's holding the child. There is an obstruction in front of the child's face. Everything here is wrong with this photo when it comes to being passport ready. So these are 3 examples of what you can use for a child passport. Okay guys, so when it comes to the passport acceptance facility, this is where you go, where the parents will take the child to go see the acceptance agent. This person is going to verify that the passport documents are correct, that the child has consent from both parents, that all documents are complete and ready to be shipped to the agency. So what a lot of people can do is there is a website where if you need help finding an acceptance agent, you simply enter your zip code and you'll be able to find the acceptance agent. Most agents are usually at your local post office or courthouse, but in the event I have seen people who have had a hard time finding an agent, and a lot of these places do require appointments these days, so it's good to know beforehand so you can make an appointment and whatnot. So what you need to do is you go to, well, this is a URL here, it's iafdb.travel.state.gov. I will include this link in the description as well, and it'll take you to this page. This is given by the Department of State, and it will show you all designated passport acceptance facilities in your area. So for our sake, let's say we're going to look for something in this zip code, and we're looking at the top 10 closest facilities. Let's do a quick search, and the zip code looks like it was a Boca Raton zip code, so we know that the downtown Boca Raton post office is a acceptance facility. There's a Deerfield Beach post office, the Broward Courthouse, Palm Beach Courthouse, Boynton Beach. All these are acceptance facilities within the area. This here is done in miles, so it's 023-711. These are all the distance from the zip code. And if you click on the facility here, it gives you a little further information. So we know that this location has handicap access. They can take your passport photos, and even if you don't want to get it done there are places nearby where you can get it done. You get the address, the phone number, so you can call them beforehand. You get their hours of operation, Monday to Friday, 10 till 3. And it does say by appointment only, and they give you a link here on how to schedule your appointment. So it's quite simple to find this agent, that's in your area. And I will include the link in the description below so you guys can find it quite easily as well. Okay, so once you're finished at the acceptance agent, like we said, the agent's gonna take all the documents. They've already verified the application, the photos, make sure the fee is correct. They've charged you their $35 fee. They ensure that the child has consent for getting the passport. Now the agent will sign off on the documents, place a stamp on the document, put it together in an envelope. It's called a sealed envelope, and they will ship that document themselves off to the passport agency. Once the passport agency gets the passport, if you paid $140, you should get it back within 4 to 6 weeks, closer to 4 weeks I'm thinking right now, based on a lot of time frames I'm seeing. If you paid $80, it will take a little longer, 12 to 18 weeks, closer to 12, 18 weeks is what they're saying, so that they're safe. But after that, it's simply just waiting for the passport. I will include a link in the description as well on a passport tracker, so you can go to the Department of State website and check the status of the passport. Do be aware it takes a few weeks for them to update it, so for the first few weeks you're not going to see anything. But give it a few weeks, you'll start seeing that it's in processing or that it's shipped. You might see a tracking number when it is shipped. So give it a couple weeks. But I want to thank you guys for watching. I do want to remind my viewers, if you guys can do me that favor of hitting subscribe and liking the video, it does a lot for the channel. It does a lot for me actually as well. It helps, gives me that motivation to keep on making videos, and let's try and get this channel to grow so that I can keep on giving information, this free information that is hard to find sometimes, to the public. But once again, thanks for watching guys, and you have a wonderful night.